To set up this next story, imagine this. If a lunatic didn't like your house and burned it down, would you respond by building a smaller one? Well, that's the plan at Ground Zero in New York with the Freedom Tower. But not only is it smaller and shorter than the Twin Towers, the Freedom Tower plan has so many design problems that virtually nothing has been done. That's right, 7 years after 9/11, Ground Zero remains an embarrassing symbol of paralysis and of giving in to Al-Qaeda. But there is an effort to change that. Ken Gardner is an architect who has come up with detailed blueprints, models, and design plans for new Twin Towers that would be taller and safer than the ones that were knocked down. Ken joins us from New York. Ken, as you show us your models, explain how the Twin Towers in your design would be safer.
Well, to start, these buildings were built with an additional ring of columns, so it turns the structure into three tubes. You have your outer tubes, which are formed by the skin. The inner tubes are formed by the core itself, which includes your elevators, your structure in there, and then you have a new introduced set of columns halfway through the floor plates that form the third tube. These give it extra strength and will add resistance against a collapse.
And Ken, as we scroll through some of the various pictures that you sent us, you have these models, you have, I understand, pretty detailed blueprints. You've
Yes.
poured a lot into this. Why is it so important, in your mind, to rebuild the Twin Towers?
Well, what it is, this is really the rebuilding of America's spirit. The terrorists attacked these icons of America to have Americans be disillusioned and feel we had no control over destiny. These towers back in the New York skyline is the return of control over America's destiny. When I think of America, I think of Ronald Reagan walking into the emergency room under his own power after taking an assassin's bullet. These towers back in the skyline, it's the unabashed and unpretentious boldness of America. These towers represent that. They represented that before, and they will represent it even more when we rebuild them.
Ken, there have been so many problems with the Freedom Tower. Are you suggesting that with your plans you could actually get the Twin Towers rebuilt faster than the Freedom Tower could be built at the stage that it's at now?
Yes, absolutely. This was designed so that it could be built rapidly, it could be built efficiently, economically. We started with a set of parameters that included the security, that included creating a pedestrian way that would be very pleasant for pedestrians. Herb Belton, the architect who was one of the original on the World Trade Center, insisted that this be done right in the start, and if it took time to put these parameters into place, it was worth it. And now we don't have to go back and mitigate errors in the project.
And Ken, I understand that you do have a lot of support from 9/11 families?
Yes, we do. And also from around the world. I've received thousands of letters from around the world, from foreign countries, even from Arab countries, that said that these buildings represented to them America. These were the most recognizable buildings in the world. And this new re-engineered, reincarnated version of the towers will be something that will bring these icons back. The best thing about this is that we have in place right now one of the greatest design teams in the world that are working on the current plans. This plan could be adapted without anyone having to be removed from the current plan. They can contracts can be renegotiated, and these introduce a new vehicle of revenue to the plan, and that's residential.
Well, Ken, I agree with you. I think that there would be no greater message that America is back than if we started rebuilding the Twin Towers. And given all the support from the 9/11 families, and given all of the problems with the Freedom Tower, which apparently, even if they were able to start on it right away, which they can't, won't be ready until at least 10 years after 9/11, which I think is inexcusable. And Ken, thank goodness there are people like you that are out there that are working on an effort to try to bring the Twin Towers back. We appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you so much.